Main Street Media Thursday Night Football Game of the Week is on the air. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Tennessee Safety Highway Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, to bring you tonight's action, here are Wade Neely and Scott Stewart.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So glad to be with you guys on another edition of Main Street Prep's Thursday night high school football game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We come to you tonight, final Thursday in the month of September. And what a month it has been. What a night it is going to be. We're on the campus of Siegel High School, where the Siegel Stars, sitting here at 4-2, are set to host the 5-1 Oakland Patriots. Hello, everybody. Alongside Scott Stewart, Wade Neely saying hello. And Scott, we've made the trip up to Murfreesboro. Good to be in the borough yet again. And we've got a great night and a great matchup on hand here at Siegel.
Old stomping grounds, all the statute of limitations on everything we did before or have passed. So no problem coming up here. Stopped, saw good friend, best friend growing up all my life, but he's got a restaurant establishment now downtown, Borough Bourbons and Brews. So go in.
Now we're talking.
Go in there and ask for Ashton McCrary and tell him Scott Stewart sent you. Just my buddy down there. So it's been great. I got to see some folks that I know. Come up here and enjoy some time with them. And then we get here, we're sitting here talking to our producer, Mr. Justin Kulik, and look up and the harvest moon is peeking up over the horizon. And man, it just sounds like football time to me, Wade. I mean, there's just something about it.
I have gotten 2 for sure texts from people I know that are not even going to be at the game tonight, but they both have said, you guys have got an amazing night of football weather, if nothing else. There was severe rain. There was some severe weather in the area. All that is cleared out, and what that has done, Scott, is made things absolutely picture perfect for a good night between 2 big rivals.
Right. This is another school I've never been to, although I did do my college days here at MTSU. There was no Siegel, no Blackman, no Rockvale. It was simply Riverdale and Oakland. So Oakland is one team I'm familiar with. Siegel will never have been to their field here. A wonderful facility, great field, and we're looking for a big night of football. A crosstown rivalry. You got an old time school with Oakland versus one of the newer schools in Siegel, and you got Oakland, who is national power to be. They played a national game there, national power. We've got Siegel, who is not really ready to just lay down and let Oakland walk over them. So, we were asked if we thought we had us a game tonight. Anytime you get 2 inner city rivals, you got the possibility of a ball game. You got one really, really good team and another good team. It just how's that all gonna shake out is our question.
It is going to be a fun night of high school football. Reminder, folks, you're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented all season long by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. And Scott, as we kind of pull back the layers here, I know Siegel is a newer school founded, in the early 2000s, but in terms of this particular rivalry, things have not gone their way, and I think that speaks more to the prowess of Oakland, as the Patriots have won 11 in a row, and Siegel's only racked up a couple of wins. But like you touched on a moment ago, they're a feisty bunch, and they're battle-tested themselves. They've got some talent, just like Oakland's got some talent. I think we're in store for a pretty good showdown tonight.
Yeah, Siegel was 4-0 until the last couple of weeks. They lost a couple in a row, one to Hendersonville and one to Blackman. On the Blackman game,
a squeaker.
They were down 24-0 with the 14 minutes left and came back. Almost was able to beat Blackman in that game. So that goes to show you Siegel is no slouch. Are they? Can they match man for man roster wise against Oakland? I don't know that they can. But they've got their share of talent, and we've done our due diligence, done our homework, and Thomas Santel is quarterback. The offense pretty much runs through him. I'd say 90% of their offense runs through their quarterback. He's got a great receiver in Terrion Grant. A couple other receivers that you might hear from are Drew Hostetter, the running back Kristen Fletcher, and then on the defensive side and the special teams, there's a young man named Quentin Groves. Those are some players you can look for us to call out again on Siegel. And if we get over to Oakland, man, there's just a roster full of great, really good high school football players. Starting off with sophomore quarterback Patrick Freeman. However, we hear this young man stepped in after the second game of the year and has done a great job for Oakland and under center. But the previous starting quarterback, Kyler Creasy, who's the coach's son and was the starter to start the year, there is a murmur campaign out there that we may see him possibly. I'll let you do more on that when we get to that. But yeah, you got him. You got Ashton Jones is a great running back. I'm going to let you. Was it Donnie Morris, the running back?
DeJuan Morris.
DeJuan Morris. Okay, DeJuan Morris. I knew you got some clarification on that. So DeJuan Morris, on the defensive side, you got Bronson Chris, Corey Smith, Caleb Ellison. All those guys have got multiple tackles this year. So, you got good players on both sides of the ball, and it's just going to be who can go out there and insert their wheel over the other.
As the Siegel Band is set to bring us in for our national anthem, we will step aside for a timeout. Reminder, fans, you're listening to Thursday night Main Street Preps Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Scott and I are back right after this.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Main Street Preps Thursday night Game of the Week coverage right here on Main Street Media Radio, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, alongside Scott Stewart, our producer, the great one, Justin Kulik. Wayne Neely saying hello. We're about 6 to 7 minutes from the opening kick here tonight. If you're just settling in, we welcome you in, and it is going to be a fantastic night of football, our final broadcast in the month of September. And Scott, crazy to think about. This is week 7 of the high school football. As you get older, everybody says time goes on a lot faster, but holy cow, it seems like we just had week 1 a couple nights ago.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, Wade, that here we are. We talked, 2/3 of the way through the football season, basically, and just got a few weeks left before we'll be talking about playoff football, and that's great. I mean, we love playoffs, but man, let's absorb and appreciate this regular season before we get there, and that's what we've been trying to do here at Main Street Media. I'd like to remind everybody before we get too deep off into our teams here, just remember that Main Street Media Radio is part of Main Street Media Tennessee, and we represent the whole area of our coverage, which includes newspapers from Kentucky to Alabama, all along the I-65 corridor. The notes that we get from these notes that we're getting from these teams come from Murfreesboro Post right here in Murfreesboro. Monty Hale Jr., who taught me pretty much everything I know about keeping stats, and I basically interned with him from college with the old newspaper here. He's our sports editor. We got that going on all across. We'll have the same thing in Williamson County when we're up there next week. Mm-hmm. Just remember, these small newspapers are there to keep you informed, not just what's going on in sports, but in everything that's going on in your community. Please support these newspapers. Please support these staffs. They are out there. They're there when you can't be. They're there to bring you the information when you can't be there. So just remember that. I don't get paid to do that one. So I just do that one out of the bottom of my heart because I believe it.
Couldn't have said it any better, my friend, as we are so delighted to have been on the air with you guys virtually every Thursday. And we got a big one next week as Ravenwood visits Franklin. And stay tuned for our Week 10 schedule announcement coming up a little bit later as we creep closer toward the playoffs. And we're not just, we've mentioned we got Scott, we got Justin, and we got myself here tonight. But down on the sidelines, we got Matthew Sawyer, who's going to be writing our recap for the Murfreesboro Post. And then you got Michael Giglio, who's going to be shooting your photography. So this is a full-fledged operation. And, this is we kind of like to puff our chest out a little bit. It's kind of what we do, right?
Yeah, we cover it all every which way we got it covered every which way you could think of. We got it video. I mean, we got audio. We've got still pictures. We got the newspaper articles. We're going to be online. If you want it, we're going to bring it to you. You just have to support if you want to support what Main Street Media Radio is doing, just go support that local newspaper that's there for you anyway. It's really it really all feeds into itself. It's a big, nice, big, pretty cycle, if you want to put it that way.
Couldn't agree more, my friend, as we are moments away from the teams taking the field here. As we've touched on in the first part of our pregame here, it is a simply gorgeous backdrop for high school football tonight. Siegel has just got the turf installed. I was able to come up here and do a soccer broadcast at the indoor facility, which is already state-of-the-art, but a lot of the facilities here, if not all, at Siegel are essentially turf now. So this place is picture perfect, and you are not going to find a better scene as we have the 4-2 Stars, as Scott touched on. They got in a shootout in week 1 on Thursday night versus Shelbyville, 55-43. They ultimately win that one. Follow up with the 64-zip win over Laverne, 35-14 versus Smyrna. Won a tight one, 21-zip, tighter, I should say, versus Coffee County before the 2 losses that Scott referenced, 28-21 Hendersonville, and then 24-21 versus Blackman. On the flip side, Scott has mentioned it a time or two tonight. Oakland is not just a Murfreesboro power. They're not just your defending state champs. They're a nationally ranked squad, and they come in with a record of 5-1. Their lone loss was to Center Grove, Indiana, who's a powerhouse in their own right. So we have got 2 really good battle-tested teams, 2 really good rivals across the way tonight. Riverdale is in action tonight as well. We'll try and keep you guys on all of the scores across Middle Tennessee. And I think that's about all we could do on our pregame, partner, is the coin toss is officially in the books. Siegel's going to come out navy tops, navy bottoms with white stripes, white numerals, and white helmets. Oakland's going to come out red bottoms, white tops, white helmets. The Patriots and the Stars here on a Thursday night.
Yeah, big-time Murfreesboro football, big-time District 3 6A football, big-time state football. So you got all kinds of action going on, and crosstown rivalries. I love them. We don't get that in Pulaski down where we live. We get some cross county line we'll get, but we don't have that many schools in one area. So it's great when you have this.
As Oakland takes the field, and Siegel, well, they are the Stars, folks. The fireworks bring them out onto the field here, as we have got a dandy on tap on this Thursday night. And just when you thought they were done with the fireworks, they tossed a few more here at the end.
Richland's been shooting off some fireworks.
Richland, our local squad's been shooting them off, and Giles County had flames, for lack of a better term, at their run out last Friday night. So everybody's kind of stepping their game up here.
Getting the fire going. Everybody's getting some combustion going on in there. We're going to get some combustion going on too. And Wade and I have an amazing view of this harvest moon as it comes up. It is getting higher and brighter in the sky every second. And what a beautiful, beautiful night for high school football. Main Street Media Thursday night football. And we're about ready to put toe to leather and get this game going.
Yeah, it's time to get this party started. Again, you're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage right here on Main Street Radio, Main Street Media Radio, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. He's Scott Stewart. I'm Wade Neely. We say hello here as the Stars are going to kick it off. It's going to be Blake Schofield, senior kicker. going to tee it up here in just a matter of moments. And Oakland trotting its good uniform contrast tonight, too. We've had a couple games where they've been very similar. And the numerals look nice. And I almost brought my binoculars for tonight, but may not need them, as this is going to be an electric combination. Again, if you're just tuning in, Oakland has dominated this series, 18-4 in the 22 all-time meetings. Siegel hadn't won since 2012. They knocked off Oakland twice that year, once in the regular season and then once in the playoffs. And ladies and gentlemen, as Schofield strikes it right at 7 p.m., we're underway here on Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week. Kickoff is fielded at around the 10, and a nice return straight up the pipe all the way to the 50, essentially, rocketing right up the middle for the Patriots. Cullen Williams, the sophomore, carrying that one, and a great starting field position here for the Patriot offense.
Made his way to the middle of the formation there, and you know, when you can get there with your blockers around on each side of you, you can make some room there. Siegel did a good job of shutting it down before he got completely loose into the end zone.
Patrick Freeman is your starting quarterback. The sophomore coming in after Creasy was injured in week 2. He draws the nod tonight. Creasy is in uniform, however, and on 1st and 10, a toss running hard to the left is Ashton Jones, and Jones picks up a healthy chunk of yardage there, close to the first down marker. He has already 719 rushing yards, and he picks up 7 or 8 right there on the first down.
Yeah, sweep left, kind of a student body type to the short side of the field. Got into the boundary over there. Like you said, pick up a good gain of 6 to get this game started off on offense well for the Patriots.
And the Patriots, you're thinking a 6A squad, a national powerhouse. They may really just open up the playbook, and they kind of do, but they really kind of go smash mouth, kind of old school on a lot of their offensive sets as they turn a little trap play here. And a nice tote first carry of the night for DeJuan Morris, who's a very talented junior, and he picks up first down yardage. Ball resting now at the Siegel 36.
He's going to pick up 8 on that carry. Wade, yeah, he's a really good running back and got some good numbers. 4 touchdowns in one game, just rushing. He had 5 total in that ball game.
10:53. This is the opening drive of the ball game. Oakland works left to right, and a little misdirection as they turn and give, and not fooled there. There was a awkward kind of whistle, but I think they're just blowing forward progress stopped as Jones was bottled up. Trying to spot a tackler over there on that far side. First real stop of the night for Siegel. Sets up 2nd and 11 after a loss of 1.
Yeah, they're calling it a -1 on that, so I guess we'll go with that. But I thought it was I thought they kind of stopped him right at the line of scrimmage.
I think your tackle Chase Simpson might have been in the mix there.
Yeah.
And now the quarterback has been rotated, and Creasy is in, and on his first snap, he turns and hands it off. And a dive up the middle is going to net a couple out across the 25 down to around the 23-yard line. It's going to set up 3rd down, 3rd and about a healthy 7 here for the Patriots on this opening drive of the ball game.
Mars carries for 4. Yeah, they're really, really heavy offensive line. They're real stacked in there tight.
Toss now to the right. First carry on the right, and good pickup there, but this could be coming back. There was a penalty marker that came right near the start of the play as DeJuan Morris got to the 30. We're going to check the infraction here.
It's going to be holding against Oakland right there at the point of attack where Morris was trying to get the corner. They're going to call holding on the offensive line, or actually probably the receiver out there on that edge. It's going to move it back 10 yards. It would have been 3rd down and probably 9. I think they're going to take the penalty. Yeah, but you almost had to think about declining that on 4th down. But you're so deep in your own territory, you kind of had to go ahead and take that penalty. So it's going to be 3rd down now and about 15.
Creasy remains a quarterback. Twins in the backfield. A couple of tight ends to either side, and they're going to play fake. And the first throw of the night, Creasy now going to tuck. No, he's not going to run. He's going to fire it toward the sideline. It's incomplete. Intended for Chase Brandy, the junior wideout. Junior tailback had slipped out of the backfield, and the pass was high, incomplete. It's going to be 4th down.
Very interesting. Like we said, we came in here. I was expecting a little more spread out, kind of a wide open look from Oakland, but they're stacking that line in there tight. They're going single receiver sets, but as far as it goes, Siegel's been able to hang with them and really have only allowed one really big play, otherwise, and have allowed just the one first down so far.
0-0 your score. Biggest play of the ball game thus far as Creasy backs out into a quick kick formation, trying to fool Siegel. They had a pure defensive look out there, and this bounces at the 15, checks up a little bit, and will be down by the Patriots at around the 17-yard line or so. So the quick kick, good stand defensively for Siegel on the opening drive, and the Stars offense will take over with 9:16 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, you got to feel good about that if you're Siegel. You come in here, you know that you're facing a really good team. You probably are the underdog in this. I think probably at least a couple touchdown underdogs, and you come in and hold them in that first after giving up really good field position.
So now on 1st and 10, and it's intercepted, and oh my goodness, straight to the house. Santel dropping back and did not see a breaking defender jumping right in front of the curl route and taking it to the house for the touchdown.
And that will break your heart right there if you are Oakland. I mean, if you're Siegel, you've done such a good job to hold them offensively to just a very few yards on that first possession. And first play on your offensive side, you hand them a touchdown.
Jumping right in front of that one. And Siegel, after a great defensive stop, kind of all for naught right there as a pick six. The Stars will get the football back, but now they find themselves trailing. First score of the night goes to the defense for the Patriots. 7-0 after the PAT is good. Scott and I will be back right after this. You're listening to Thursday night Game of the Week coverage on Main Street Media Radio presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We're back in 30 seconds.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710, or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Welcome back in. As we're about to get the kickoff, Wade's coming back. Scott Stewart and Wade Neely here with you, Main Street Media, Thursday Night Football.
Craig Tutt is the defensive player. He's listed as number 3 on our official roster, but he's wearing number 1 tonight. And he jumps and makes that pick six. Ensuing kickoff goes into the end zone. And it's Oakland 7, Siegel nothing, 9-10 remaining here. So let's just put everything back in reverse that we just said about the the Siegel offense, Scott, and we'll just get a redo here.
Yeah, well, it's not quite the same after having stopped them, but this time now you've given up a pick six for a touchdown on your first play. You know, now you got to shake that off. You got everything else going on. Now you got to shake off the fact that you just gave up a touchdown on the offensive side of the ball.
As Santel comes back out, Thomas is a senior quarterback, having a great start to his senior year, thrown for nearly 700 yards. And on 1st and 10, he turns, hands it off. Good surge up front for the Stars.
Yeah, the offensive line made a good surge there. That's going to be number 22, Fletcher. That's Christian Fletcher, the main running back for Siegel.
They went on the right side. Big Matthew Rice, the junior, kind of paving the way there. A short 2 gained right there, so it's a long 8 coming up. Siegel now has trips to the left, a single end, split end to the right. Oakland's got a 4-man front. Now they're switching some position and personnel here. Siegel's going to snap it quickly, tossing in the flat, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Teron Grant. And Grant bobbled the pass and tried to run before he had full possession, and it's incomplete.
So 0 for 2 now. That's not the stat line you're looking for with an interception for Santel, who really, like I said, 90% of this offense is going to run through him either on his legs or his arm.
3rd and 8. Pocket breaks down quickly, and there goes Santel right on cue, and he is close to the first down marker. Looked like he was thinking about pulling up. He's slow to get up on that far sideline.
Uh-oh.
And that is not good. There was a touch of hesitancy there, whether to slide or whether to go for the first down. And in the last second, he did get the yardage it looked like. If not, he's just shy, but he is roughed up on that Oakland sideline. And
yeah, you know somebody's hurt when the defenders when the defense is calling for the trainers to come on over.
Yep.
To check on him. That is not a good situation, and it's just going from bad to worse for Siegel at this point, Wade. I mean, you started off pretty positive. You think that you give them the ball at the 50, you hold them to really one first down, make Oakland punt. You get the ball, next thing you know, you've thrown a pick six, you're down 7-0, and now your starting quarterback, who is 90% of your offense, is laying on the sideline being looked at by the trainers. It's kind of snowballing on them, and he's getting up, but he's not going to be walking off on his own power. He's going to be leaning on somebody. It almost looks like it's a elbow or shoulder or something, Wade. Look the way he's holding it.
Yeah, and this is not a great situation for Siegel. Started off 4-0.
Yeah.
Dropped 2 in a row, and now
Thomas Santel is hurt, and his backup's going to be I think is it going to be Hostetter? It's number 9. It's going to be
that's AJ Kuchara. Kuchara has thrown a couple passes this year in backup duty. He's 5 of 6 passing. And this is kind of really changing the whole dynamic of this game up in the very first few moments. 8:17 to go in the opening quarter.
He's done something to that elbow or shoulder. So prayers out for Thomas Santel.
Poof. We'll try and update on that as the night continues. Yeah, they do give him the first, so the drive continues. Kuchara turns and hands off, 1st and 10. Nice surge. Again, targeting that right side of the line, and Fletcher picks up right around 8, maybe 9 yards, just shy of the 40, as the Stars move right to left here. And on 2nd and inches, calling for a quick snap. Give right up the middle, this time to the left. And man, they're just blowing Oakland off the football right now. And just keeping it on the ground has worked a couple plays in a row. That's a first down for Siegel, approaching midfield. 7:40 to go in this opening quarter. Twin wideouts to the left for Kuchara, who's the backup quarterback.
Don't need to stop now.
Yeah. You know, I just had a conversation with 2 friends in our community back in Giles County, and I said sometimes if you find a play or two that doesn't, the other defense can't slow you down, just stick with it. And that's kind of what Siegel's done. They're running right up the left. They're running right up the right.
And Kuchara is a senior, by the way. He's not like they've got a freshman coming in to back up Santel.
He turns. There's a give this time to the left, and for the first time on this drive, Oakland gets some nice surge up front, coming up and making a little stop there. Minimal gain at best. Quentin Norfolk is a junior D lineman. He was in on the play, as was Carlos Swatter, a senior D end.
3rd 2 now, just across midfield, Wade.
It's a big play here for the Stars as they trail 7-0. Trying to extend this drive here after the injury to Santel, the quarterback. Fletcher stands in the backfield to the left hip of Kuchara. AJ's going to play fake.
Oh, my goodness.
Incomplete, in and out of the hands of Caleb Watson. That's 2 drops on this drive, unfortunately, for the Stars by 2 of their top receivers. Watson has already caught 6 touchdowns this year. And the hot route over the seam, maybe too hot for Watson to handle, and he dropped it. And it's going to bring out a punting situation. That's a tough way to end this drive after Siegel had shown a little promise getting out beyond midfield.
But the way their defense had played that first series, you got to think, pin them back. That's what they're going to do. Maybe.
Yeah. Oakland ran a quick kick on their first drive tonight, and then Siegel's shuffling a lot of bodies around. Now they're going to kind of finally punt. And it looked like it was blocked for a second, but it is clean. It is away on a rugby-style punt, downed at around the 14-yard line. So we got to ask, obviously, you didn't score points, which would have been kind of icing on the cake, but you really kind of wonder about the psyche of the team when you see your senior quarterback go out like that. But all in all, not a horrible drive there for the Stars with 6:10 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and if you're really good tight end who's been go-to all year so far, catches a ball that hits him in the hands, and he'll catch most of those, you're still going, and you're probably going to kick at least to kick a field goal out of it. So, yeah, you got to be confident. You got some confidence, but you're going to have to start doing something with the ball when you get it. And you're going to have to do something with this field position right here, too.
Oakland takes back over, faking the end around. Now they turn and give, running hard up the left side. Good tackle there for Kel Harrison, the senior, coming up and making the stop. Oakland picks up a couple. And it'll be 2nd and 8 after they mark this off. Oakland's got a really good offensive lineman in junior Jake Riggs. Already got some offers, or some interest at least, from Louisville, Memphis, Liberty.
That running back was Avery Hainsworth, by the way.
Hainsworth, by the way. More on him in just a second. You might be wondering. As a turn and a give. And
oh, look here.
The ball came loose at the end of the play. It's free. It's free. And the Stars pounce on it. Coming up with it at the end of the play. Great recovery there for the Stars was Harrison. And the officials are conferring. And the whole crowd, even the PA announcer, was ready to give that ball to Siegel. And now the officials have ruled that the runner was down by contact.
Well, he was not. They had to be. It had to be forward motion.
Or forward progress, excuse me.
He was not down by contact, that's for sure.
So an unfortunate break yet again for Siegel. 7-0, Oakland leads. This is a big third down, though. 3rd and 7. Creasy will drop back, pumping, firing. He's got a tight end. And it is hauled in, but it's hauled in on a slide. And that is going to be short by about 2 yards and about 1.5 yards here. And so, dare I say, decision time maybe for Oakland? It's going to be 4th and short. But you're at your own 24-yard line. They're going to trot the offense out. They lead this game 7-0. Just over 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. Oakland's calling for it. Now they're going to drop back. Yep, another quick punt here. And this is a really good punt, especially out of the quick kick formation. And this will wobble down to the 21. That is a great punt, all things considered. So the Oakland offense did complete that pass, just shy, though. And how about the back-to-back stops defensively for the Stars?
Right. Siegel came to play tonight. I don't think they got the memo that that they're a couple of touchdown underdog in this ball game. Defensively, they've whipped Oakland up front so far, and offensively, they've been the best team so far. Wade, just gonna have to put it that way. -1 play, which for Oakland doesn't really matter because Oakland's got the touchdown. You can't forget that, obviously.
Yep. So the offense takes back over. Again, Santel is sidelined here after an injury on the second drive. And on this play now, first time tonight that as Jeremiah Bunton, the senior linebacker, fills the hole, makes the tackle. Still a minimal gain, though, but the first real time that Siegel hasn't got that big surge up front. Stars with the ball, 3:30 to go. We're in the opening quarter. Twins now to the right. And Kachar is going to load up to his left. He's got a man. It's hauled in. Oh, yeah. What a catch down the sideline for Teron Grant. Grant just trailing and following the ball. He's got 3 touchdowns and 176 yards receiving, and he made a great grab right there for a first down.
35 yards, Wade.
Big-time pickup for Grant, who's a superstar in the making. for these Stars here. As a quick give. And running off the left side now. I'm impressed with the play of Fletcher thus far, the tailback for the Stars.
Yeah, he's not one of these big kids. He's one of the small, these little small backs that gets off in that line and kind of gets lost a little bit. He's picking up 5 or 6 yards. He's averaging over 5 yards a carry right now.
Siegel is on the move. Out to the Oakland 38. Patriots trying to time a blitz right there. Smith, the linebacker, now he backs off. Now he's going to creep back up. Siegel snaps it with a couple of seconds on the clock. Tossing the far side flat. And that is hauled in by Inslee. That's Kevin Inslee, the junior. And he needed about 3, maybe 4, and he picked up about 3. He's right at the stick, just shy.
Yep.
2:02 to go. Oakland leads after a pick 6 on their first play defensively tonight. But the Stars are clicking. Here's a give, and this will come down to the spot. And a give up the middle.
I don't think he got it.
Yeah, Fletcher looks like he's about a yard shy. They say he lost an inch or 2 right there. So 4th and a long 1 at the 36. Siegel has it on the far side hash on this gorgeous turf rug out here. And they're going to keep the offense out. As Fletcher's in the backfield, they're going to play fake to him, tossing it toward the tight end, and it's batted away. They wanted to go to Watson.
Great play out there by number 9 for
Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk. Great play on the defense. They wanted a penalty. There really wasn't a penalty on that.
You called it best. That was just a flat-out great defensive play. He did a good job of following Watson, and then at the last minute, reached that big paw in there and knocked it away. So Siegel, in a game that has been very nip and tuck thus far, comes up empty there on 4th down. 40 seconds remaining. Clock is running for some reason.
I'm not the coach, and I'm never going to claim to be smarter than the coach, I promise you. But I do have to question that. You need to do everything you can to keep Oakland pinned back. They shouldn't be the way his defense is playing.
Give on 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Running hard is Jones, the feature back. Jones, 720 yards on the ground thus far. Having a great senior campaign. And that might take us to the end of the quarter here. And Oakland's huddling up, and they look like they got no interest in really snapping it. But now the clock was stopped briefly. Clock was running when it was not supposed to a moment ago. Now I think the officials just kind of made up for the lost time there. And that's one way to do it.
Yep.
And either way you slice it, either way you dice it, we've reached the end of the first quarter. Very entertaining ball game thus far as a pick 6 puts Oakland on top. 7-0 in this rivalry showdown. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Scott and I are back in 60 seconds.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Second quarter back underway, and 2nd and 6. Oakland tossed one in the flat, and it was caught, hauled in by Chase Bandy, the junior wideout. And Bandy goes across midfield. He's brought down at the 48. 7-0 is your score. Oakland leads after a defensive touchdown. Pick 6 on the first play defensively tonight. Patriots going to jump into a Wildcat, and now it's a low snap, and the ball gets away. DeJuan Morris had rotated into a Wildcat formation there, and the snap was, I said low, but it was really just off to the left. Morris does a good job of just falling on it and securing possession. But Oakland's backed up all the way to its own 39 now. This is, here's a chance to bust out of geography here. This is second and Walter Hill, we're going to call this one, Scott Stewart. I think I nailed that one.
I think you're right.
We're even on that. We're on this side of town, even, I think. Yeah. Officially, they mark it second and 23. Creasy returns at quarterback. They bring a man on an end around, and he's thinking about throwing. Siegel's got it scouted out, though. Good stop defensively. Maddox Grisham, one of the first on the scene there defensively for the Stars.
They're going. Oakland's going the wrong way right here, Wade. That's 2 negative plays, -3 on that one. That we'll call that was a running play, by the way. And so now you got 3rd and 28 for the Patriots.
It was Xavier Mukindi out there on that far side cornerback who made the initial stop. And Grant came over all the way from his cornerback position with the toss into the backfield. He helped assist. 3rd and 28. Patriots go into the shotgun. They send that man in motion again. They fake it to him, and now they're going to dump a screen play. Pretty well executed, but very well read by the Stars. And the Patriots are bottled up and brought down at their own 39. And that is another great defensive stand here for Siegel. And we've had a couple of quick kick formations. There won't be any trickeration here. It's going to be a straight-up punt on 4th and 20+.
Yeah, he threw that to Morris out there. I've been super impressed with this Siegel defense. Just super impressed with it.
They are absolutely flying to the ball. And Oakland got a kick away, but there was a procedure penalty. So they go backwards on 1st down. They go backwards on 2nd down. And now on 4th down, they're still going backwards. 4th and 28. They're going back toward Christiana, I think, at this point.
And this might be Siegel's opportunity to kind of flip the field a little bit. They've pretty much been behind the sticks, as you would say, on the field position.
So they have a man back to return for the first time. This is a traditional drop back punt. Pretty good little kick. And it's kind of on a line drive, but Oakland's coverage unit was able to get down there in time. Fair catch called and made by Inslee.
Definitely Siegel's best start position. They've been at the 20 to 21 a couple times. They're out at the 33-yard line way. And you got to feel pretty good about yourself right now if you're Siegel. You got to turn this into something. You can't just keep living off the emotions of doing well. You have to get the ball in the end zone. You've already given Oakland 1 score. Now you got to go back and get that one back plus some. So it's time to get that going.
Again, if you're just joining us, Santel, the quarterback, injured on the 2nd drive. And Kachara has been thrust into backup duty here. And he's playing well. The only problem with Kachara being out there as your backup is a kid that you could have in another position potentially there for the Stars.
And he's not – I don't think he's the runner Santel is. Santel had a lot of rushing yardage.
Speaking of running, he called his own number right there. And on 2nd and 10, Siegel wants to talk it over on a timeout. And we're going to take a break as well. Scott and I are back right after this 30-second break. It is Oakland 7, Siegel nothing. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. And we're back here on Main Street Media Thursday night game of the week coverage. Main Street Media Radio.com. All on our, whether you're hitting us there, whether you're hitting us on social media. Thank you guys for tuning in alongside Scott Stewart, Wayne Neely saying hello. 2nd and 10. Seagulls moved the ball well on several of its drives as Kachara airmailed this pass here intended for Grant. Grant may be looking for a flag there, but either way, it's going to stay 3rd down here, 3rd and 10 after that incompletion.
Yeah, and it looks like Oakland's adjusted. Fletcher was running pretty hard up the middle, getting 4, 5, 6 yards of carry. They've kind of slowed that down, and Seagulls going away from it a little bit.
A lot of pressure, deep ball.
Oh, almost intercepted.
Nearly intercepted. Is that caught? Is that caught?
Oh, my goodness.
What a snag.
I had already put incomplete there.
Drew Hostetter. There were 2 defenders, and both dove for the ball. Looked like for sure one of them had knocked it away. And Hostetter, cradling the ball as he falls to the turf, finally popped out of the pile and handed it to the official, who's kind of as surprised as we were. Huge pickup out to the 37. Siegel snaps it, goes right back to said Drew Hostetter, the sophomore. He hauls it in on a quick little pass in the slot out to the 30. And
That's
Siegel's trying to hurry it up.
Yards on that pass play.
Just dropped it in a bucket right there.
Did the defender touch it? I thought he did, but
I don't see any way that it couldn't have been tipped somehow. What a catch and what concentration. And now Kachara, run pass option. He's going to elect to run. He pump fakes, gets the defender in the air. Tut went airborne there, biting on the pump fake, and that bought Kachara, the backup quarterback, a couple extra yards. 7:31 to go. Siegel is driving. This is a very promising.
They need to move the down marker, and I think that's a 1st down.
Yeah, everybody for the sideline for Siegel's kind of motioning like, hey, man, you got to move the sticks here. And it took a little while, but they finally got the memo on that far sideline. And so the ball brought out to the 26. Siegel's on the near side hash in a pistol formation. Fletcher on the right side hip of the quarterback, Kachara. They give to Fletcher.
Fletcher runs hard.
Yeah, he eludes one man in the backfield. Scott said it earlier. He's given up a lot of height and a lot of weight, but he is a hard runner and slippery. And that first man couldn't bring him down, and the second one did barely. He gets 3. That's a working man's 3 yards right there.
Yeah, he's a hard running little back. That's what he is.
Ball now to the 23. Driving toward the south end zone here at Siegel High. Gorgeous backdrop for high school football on this Thursday night.
Got the triangle trips down here on the short side of the field.
They're going to run pass option. They do dump it to the back man in that trip formation. And Hostetter is shoved out of bounds. Crowd kind of groaning there, looking for a late hit. It is a little rivalry game after all, just a little friendly shove at the end of that play. Good news for Hostetter is he's on his friendly sideline. He was shoved into his comrades there. No flag, and so it's a loss of a couple, and so now it's 3rd and 10. Siegel's very close, if not in field goal range. Good 3rd and 10. Kachara floating a deep ball. It's in the end zone. Caught! Rising and snagging it for the touchdown is Grant. I mean, just floating the ball up there, Kachara. Grant had the position and just kind of boxed out a defender or two, hauling it in. 6:06 remaining in this first half. And wow, what a play on a 3rd and 10 from your backup quarterback, A.J. Kachara, finding Teron Grant for the touchdown.
That shows you – go ahead.
I was just going to say, the extra point is up and the extra point is good.
That shows you why that young man is on a lot of college teams' radar. That looked like a college football play, the way that Grant went up and got that pass. Great job by the quarterback, backup quarterback, by the way, to throw it out there high because he knows his man can go up and get it. He did. He went up over 2 defenders and brought that thing down.
And Grant, as Scott alluded to it, wow, just great execution, jumping, catching it at its highest point. And with 6:06 to go, Scott Stewart, we got ourselves a tie ball game.
All of a sudden, like that.
And Oakland, if not for a pick six defensively, Siegel would be leading this game.
Yeah, it's as I said, there was a point in this game early on where everything in the world seemed to be going against Siegel, but they just acted like they just kept playing their game. The defense kept playing hard, and the next thing you know, Siegel's down here scoring a 31-yard touchdown pass, has tied the game up. They brought it back even. Their main man, the quarterback, Santel, is most likely out from what we saw. Yeah, he's down there with a sling on, the pads off, and his backups come in. And as I told y'all to start this game, you can take the records out. You can take what Oakland did last year out. You can take what they've done this year out. You can take what Siegel's done this year out. And when you start playing the guys that you spend time with outside of these schools in this city, this is what you get. You get a knockdown, drag-out ball game by 2 really good teams.
This has lived up to the billing thus far. Short kick, fielded at the 15. Look out. Oakland running. Whew. And, again, the roster we've got for Oakland does not have number 1. And we were told that was Tut. But Tut is also listed on the roster as wearing number 3, and there's a number 3 out there. So that mysterious man, number 1, was on the carry there. We will try and get an official ruling on the single numeral jersey there. Closer to halftime. 5:59 to go. Oakland does take over at their own 48, and they promptly go across midfield. Good carry on the left side. Oakland's got some beef up front. And running behind Braylon LaForia, the senior left tackle there. Or left guard, I should say. Picking up some nice yardage. Sets up 2nd and 4. 7-7 your ball game score here. As the Patriots, who'd gone under center for the majority of their first couple of possessions, they now have the backup tailback or quarterback in, and a backup burst of speed to try and get the edge. And Morris is gone. DeJuan Morris, the junior who transferred in from Red Bank, a Class 4A powerhouse last year, bopped it to the outside. And once he got the edge, like I said, he hit that turbo button down the right sideline. And the Blue Army for Oakland is bouncing up and down on that far side as their Patriots go back on top 13-7.
Yeah, you called it great, Wade. They sealed that corner off completely, and once all he needed was that little bit of daylight, and he outran everybody. Don Morris knows what to do with the ball. when he gets his hands on it, and he was gone, baby.
The playmakers are making plays, folks, as it's 14-7. Scott and I are going to take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Oakland back on top. First offensive touchdown of the night for the Patriots. They lead this game 14-7. 5:14 left. We are in quarter number 2. And this one will go into the end zone for the touchback. And Scott Siegel's played so well tonight, but this game literally has come down to 2 plays. The pick 6 defensively, and then a nice marauding run down the sideline just a moment ago for Morris.
That's
Two big plays are the difference in this game.
Yeah, and that's the difference when you're playing a team of the caliber of Oakland. You know, we talk about you throw the records out the window, but you know they got some talent, and you can't. It's almost hear the old saying, you can't stop them, you can only contain them. And there's just at some point they're going to get that edge on you. Somebody like Morris is going to bust off 46 yards. It's just going to happen sometime.
He showed everybody here at Siegel why they're so high on this. As on 1st and 10. Kachara rolling to his right, and he was giving up a lot of ground on the pressure there, and he finally just launches one out of bounds. Good job of getting the incompletion away. Good pressure coming off that left side edge.
Yeah, something happened funny too there. I don't know what they were trying to set up. Maybe they were trying to set up a screen, and it didn't develop, and he just had to chunk that thing as far as he could to keep it from being an ugly play.
That was Corey Smith, the linebacker, bearing down, and now more pressure. Kachara's loading it up, loading it deep, and maybe playing with fire there as that pass was nearly intercepted. Bronson Crisp knocked it away, but he had the best chance to catch the football.
Yeah. They're double teaming Grant, and it hasn't mattered so far, but it did work that time.
If you're going to throw into double coverage, it's got to be a perfect ball. And we've seen 2 perfect balls thus far from Kachara. That one was less than perfect, and it was incomplete. And now on the far sideline, Grant, who just made that great touchdown a moment ago, got a little bit of a head start there. And
got an offsides? Or now they're going back the other way.
Yeah, Grant on that far sideline just took off about 4 yards downfield. The sad part is he is so talented. He don't need any extra head start there, but he wanted one just in case. So now it's 3rd and 15. Give. A little safe play call here. Try and burn some clock and then punt it away. As I believe Fletcher on the carry. Yep, and Fletcher picks up a yard, maybe 2. And so Schofield will try it out to punt. Under 5 remaining here. We're in the second quarter. It's 14-7. Oakland led 7-0 after a pick 6. Siegel tied it up 7-7, and then now the Patriots back on top. Good snap back to Schofield, who boots away a pretty good effort here. It bounces, I should say, at the 49 and picks up about 6 extra yards on the roll. Not a bad kick, all things considered. But decent field position yet again for Oakland. Siegel's defense is just bowed up on nearly every possession tonight.
Yeah, and this is a key spot in this game. You know that everybody talks on pro games and college games. Those 6 to 8 minutes on each side of the quarter of the halftime, and we're at 4.5 right here. And Siegel needs to bring that defense again, or else they're going to be in a real bad spot.
Yeah, they need to keep this game at 1 possession at worst all night long. As a tote on that far side for Hainsworth. And Scott, I mentioned earlier, you may be wondering, yes, that is Sir Albert Hainsworth himself.
Oh, is it?
That is his talented junior. This is his first game healthy. He's been dinged up to start the season, so Hainsworth's got a couple carries thus far for the Patriots.
Looks pretty good, big for a running back for sure.
Wonder where he gets that from.
Yeah, he's not big for a line.
End around here, stuffed. Flying in and making a stop. Maddox Grisham, the senior linebacker, did a great job of flying into the backfield, and that play was busted. An end around goes backwards, and it's 3rd and 8.
They had slipped the running back 5 out into the slot, Jones, and they were going to try to get him the ball, like you say, on that reverse, but there was no go as once again, Siegel continues to play well on that out there on up the middle for sure.
Massive play here at the 45. It's 3rd and 8. Creasy bobbled the snap briefly. Now he has it. He has all day to throw. He dumps to his safety valve And, extra yardage. Yeah, he was a couple of yards shy to begin with, and then extra effort on the little dump pass in the backfield there.
That was Bandy that he threw it to. He ended up picking up 8. He needed 9. There's less than a yard to go.
So Oakland, 2:34 to go. You would assume they're going to line up under center. They're probably going to sneak this here, and they do.
Oh,
and
yeah,
there's a flag. Somebody flinched.
Coach, see what coach is jumping up and down. Somebody flinched on the offensive line. 5-yard penalty will move the ball back, and now you're talking about 4th down and 5.5 yards right inside midfield for Oakland. As we said, wait a minute. Okay, I thought he was going to go the other way. But
Coach Adam Renshaw, you described it beautifully there. He was hopping up and down on the sideline saying, wait a second, he moved.
We've seen this formation, and the guy that's been putting out of it's not out there.
No, Oakland has its offense back out. Full house backfield. They have one receiver to the left. 2 men go in motion in the backfield. They're stacked heavy to the left now.
Trying to get them to jump.
There's 2 minutes left, and Oakland will take a timeout with 1:56 remaining. And we're going to take a timeout as well. Big 4th down coming up right after this. 14-7, Oakland leads. Punting situation after this 30-second timeout.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50+ different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Crowd is fired up here. Rightfully so. This has been a great ball game.
Yeah, exactly what we expected out of a crosstown rivalry weight. And like you say, Oakland's taking advantage of big plays. Seagulls taking advantage of playing with some big heart. We're out here at midfield. Looks like we're going to get a punt now on 4th down and just over 5. Just inside midfield. Oakland's going to punt the ball away to Siegel.
Siegel does not bring any pressure here, so this bounces, and Siegel lets it roll into the end zone. Oakland tried to save it. That was actually a pretty savvy play right there. Yeah, Inslee did a great job. He faked as if he was going to return it at first, and then once he was letting it go, he kind of just set a little pick inadvertently between the coverage man and the ball. And so in a pursuit of the football, Oakland had to take the long route, and by that time the ball was in the end zone.
Siegel has suffered from a lot less, not nearly as good of field position as Oakland has. And so they're back on the 20-yard line again. The one time they started outside the 20-yard line, they basically scored a touchdown. So 2 minutes to go here in this first half.
And Siegel, just when you think they might pack it in for halftime, they jump out in a 4-wide look here. Again, Santel, the standout senior quarterback, went down with an injury. It is unlikely he returns tonight. And on that spread formation, classic football, right? You spread everybody out, and then you see what the defense is going to do, and then you give right up the middle, and a little carry there for your tailback Fletcher.
Over that left side for about, well, they ended up just giving them 2, didn't they?
It looked like a little more upon first glance, but out to the 22. 14-7. Patriots with a pick 6 and then a big rushing score. We were tied at 7, but the rushing score has made it 14-7, and the Stars are doing a great job of pretending like they're going to run a play here, but they're really just letting the clock bleed down toward halftime. And they go back to Fletcher. And if you're Oakland, you maybe think about a timeout here to kind of put the pressure back on the Stars.
Yep, there you go. You called it, Wade. They must be listening to the game down there.
I think somebody's got us tuned in down there on that sideline. But I love that setup there from Siegel. You sprint to the ball. You make everybody in the park think you're going to run a play and try and do something before half, when really you're kind of okay just going in 14-7.
Yeah, I think.
But you bleed that clock off, and now Oakland has burned its second timeout.
I think if you're Siegel, you're really almost kind of happy 14-7, considering that 2 plays and it's 7-0, you're winning. 2
plays and a bum quarterback now after
Right.
the injury to Santel. 6A football here on Main
keep talking
Street
about
Preps.
the crosstown rival. We keep not even talking about the fact it's a 6-3A game. It's a region game.
Massive showdown. Riverdale's in action tonight, but they are not in region play. As
now we're going to have another timeout.
Yeah. And speaking of, Riverdale leads Cane Ridge 21-0. That game's in the second quarter.
Something right about Riverdale being in the top of the district standings. You know, like I did my college here. I went to college at MTSU, got my degree there, got interned with Monty Hale at the newspaper here in Murfreesboro at the time. That was Riverdale's heyday, man. That was they were rolling, and nobody could hang with them. Oakland was not a very good team at that program at that time, and they were the only 2 schools here in Murfreesboro at that point. So just how much different it is amazing to me, sitting here watching Siegel and Oakland play.
They are battling it out here. Out of the timeout, it's 3rd and 7. Left to right. And the Stars going to play it safe yet again. And they pick up 4 or 5. And I didn't really hear a whistle for a timeout, but the clock stopped.
There was a timeout called.
So
by
they
Oakland.
they did sneak it in there.
So we're about 4th down and 3, about the 27-yard line of Siegel. Siegel's got the ball. They're going to be punting here, unless somebody goes completely brain dead. They'll be punting here, and when they get through punting this ball, it's probably going to be right in somewhere around the 40-something second for Oakland, who has scored on 2 plays, by the way. One of them on offense, one of them on defense. It does not take Oakland long to score at all.
That's the maddening part. If you're Siegel, your defense has played by and large outstanding tonight, but one big play has been the difference. Both offenses putting up 7 points, but then that pick 6, the difference thus far. Schofield is back. It is a low snap.
Ooh, barely got it off.
Yeah, barely got it off. It took a very odd angle off the foot. And good job by Siegel yet again. They finally blow it dead. They were able to run off about 3-4 extra seconds there. Good job on the special teams by Christian Cup. Again, kind of pretending like he was about to pick it up for the down, and then bleeding time off, so they clock it with 39 seconds remaining. And Oakland takes over at its own 45. They are out of timeouts.
Yeah, so the question is, how much do you really try to do? What you do is you hand this ball off to one of your running backs, and you see what you can get on that first play. If you can pick up 5 yards or something, it gives you you kind of get a green light to go ahead. If you don't, you go ahead and take her on in. Usually you take it on into the locker room.
And there's a lot of motion. And finally, at the end of that motion and commotion, if you will, they turn and hand it off. And Hainsworth
got 6, which is kind of a go territory if you get that. But did they call timeout? Because now they're huddling up. So
out of timeout. So now they're the ones kind of maybe load up something here for one last play. They're not even going to clock it and trying to run a last play, but they will get into the shotgun here. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. And now Siegel, I think. They just want to make sure all their P's and Q's are
you got that timeout. You know, it
away.
ain't going to do you any good sitting in the locker room with it. And you're sitting there going, are my guys ready for this if he snaps this ball? So I think that's a good good timeout called by the coach there just to cover everything.
That is simply put, but it is beautifully put because, yeah, that's exactly what that was. We could almost see coaching staff for the Stars, Coach Renshaw saying, before they snap this ball, are we sure? And they finally decide to bring it out here. Special teams-wise, trying to pull up a season long at least here. Oakland's a team that, kind of like some other teams we've covered this year, they don't kick a lot of field goals just because they don't necessarily need to. Their kicker,
right,
Jacob Taylor's a senior. Where's number 95, which I love, by the way? He's 1 of 3 on the season and as long as 39, so he's got a decent leg. And now the backup, Freeman, comes back in at quarterback, just beyond midfield from the 49. Freeman rolling to his light, loading up, and wounded duck. And he had a receiver, but the receiver slipped. Would have been well shy of the end zone. Only got about to the 20-yard line anyway, and it's incomplete. And after 2 quarters, Scott Stewart, the Stars are simply put 2 plays away from leading this game. They had a pick 6 at the very first play offensively, and then on the second drive right before this last one from Oakland, they gave up a bounce rush to the outside for a big play, if you will, for the touchdown. So
either one of those plays go back and you're either tied or ahead 7-0 or 7-7. Siegel's got to go into this locker room and think, man, we're in pretty good shape right here. What can we do to get over the hump?
And this is with their starting quarterback, Senior Santel, who is fantastic career here at Siegel, and he is out and unlikely to return.
No,
any point in the next couple weeks. It's a good thing that fall break is coming up because he did not look like he's ready to return anytime soon.
I don't know if we got any confirmation on what happened, but it was a shoulder or elbow. It was a left shoulder, left elbow. And what that play was it was a big play. He broke containment, rushed out, and had the opportunity to duck out of bounds before he got the first down on a 3rd down play. And he decided to push that forward, and he got hurt pushing for the extra yard. He did get the extra yard, but he's been out and will be out for the rest of this game. And I would be surprised if he'll see much or anything more for the rest of this season. That was a significant injury to his arm.
Tough break there for Siegel again. Tommy Santel having such a great season, such a great career. And unfortunately, he was injured. Threw a pick 6 on his first drive, and on his second play of drive number 2, he departs
and I find
with an injury.
And that kind of, when we get to do these games, we get to go all over the place, and we look these teams up. We don't get to see them every week like we do our teams. And, you pick 1 or 2 guys that you're kind of looking forward to watching play, right? And Santel was one of those guys. He was one of the guys on Siegel that I was looking forward to seeing play. And, I know it's disappointing. I don't want to act like it's not disappointing for him and his family and everybody else, but it's kind of disappointing for me too, because I really had wanted to see him play. Him and Grant. Grant has shown out. Thank goodness they had the backup quarterback that's able to at least get the ball to him, and Grant has shown out. And then also Moore over on the other side has been the man for Oakland, and it's been good to see him. He was another one that I was looking forward to seeing play. So we get to see most of these guys, but really unfortunate for Santel. To see his probably, unless it's not as bad as I think it is, probably maybe see his high school football career end right here.
Yeah, let's obviously hope for the best, but it did not look good. The good news is it's only if you're a Siegel fan, at least it's 14-7, and your Stars are set to receive the second half kickoff. And if you're a Siegel fan, you don't really lose. You may lose on the scoreboard on a Friday night, but you rarely lose a battle of the bands. We've got one of the all-time great ones as Oakland is set to take the field for their performance, and the award-winning Stars band will be out right after that. We will take a break, but it's 14-7 here at the half. A reminder that you're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We are back in 2 minutes.
At Dixon Tater Shack, we take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint, we're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Don't let fans drive drunk. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Complete Service Heat and Air is a trusted provider of top-notch commercial spaces. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Welcome to the GR Group at Cry Like Realtors. Our team is comprised of seasoned veterans, military spouses, and other real estate professionals with strong ties to the military community. We specialize in helping our clients buy and sell homes, as well as providing comprehensive services for commercial and land properties. Whether you're relocating to the area, interested in buying or selling a home, or looking for commercial or land properties, the GR Group has the expertise and resources to help you achieve your real estate goals. Contact the GR Group today.
Welcome back in. Scott Stewart with you here, and we, along with Wade Neely, we're at Siegel High School. You're listening to Main Street Media Radio. Thursday night game of the week brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans, do not let fans drive drunk. We got a great ball game going on for you here. 14-7 is the score. Oakland leading Siegel. We are at Siegel here in Murfreesboro. Cross-city rivalry being played out in front of us, as well as a Region 6-3A game, big Region 6-3A game, by the way, where Riverside is undefeated in the region, and they are not playing a region game this week. Oakland is undefeated in the region. They are playing Siegel, which is a region game. Siegel is 1-1 in the region, and they are looking to go to 2-1 and take a half game lead over Oakland just simply by having the win over them. So big game here in a lot of different levels. We expected high powered offense from Oakland to come into this ball game, and Siegel's defense has come to play tonight. But for two plays, Siegel leads this game 7-0. Those two plays are very important, and Oakland has done what they've needed to do to maintain their lead. The first one being after Siegel's defense had stopped Oakland to start the ball game, got the punt. We're down inside the 20-yard line, and the first pass by quarterback Thomas Santel was a pick six, and in the hands of Tutt for Oakland. And that set the stage for the 7-0 lead real fast for Oakland. Siegel continued to play hard, continued to do what they had to do to keep Oakland from running away with this game. And then as backup quarterback, Curchieri came in, he was able to start passing the ball, got it to the playmaker, the man, Torian Grant. And then finally on a 31-yard pass across the middle, Grant goes up over two players and brings high points the ball, brings it down for the touchdown at 7-7. Then as soon as almost as soon as that kind of dust had settled, Oakland took the ball, got around midfield, just about the 46-yard line, and they handed the ball to Duane Morris. and Morris got the seal on the far side of the field and outran everybody to the end zone. And that's how we got to 14-7. 14-7 is your score. We are at halftime. We got the Battle of the Bands going on. We're about 11 and a half minutes left before we get the second half underway. I am Scott Stewart. You're listening to Main Street Media Radio, and we just encourage you guys to, if you're listening to us here in Murfreesboro, if you're listening to us across the mid-state, just find your Main Street Media newspaper in your community, all the way from Kentucky to Alabama along the I-65 corridor. Main Street Media has hometown newspapers, all or small community newspapers all across this mid-state area. And this is the kind of stuff that Main Street Media brings to you. We will bring you this game on radio. We will bring you this game on the internet. And also it will be you'll be able to read it here in the Murfreesboro Post if you're listening to us in Murfreesboro. Hey, pick up your paper, get a subscription to your paper. Your community paper is an important part of your community, because without it, you don't know what's going on, whether it be sports, whether it be government, whether it be whatever's going on in your community. That's what your community newspaper is there for. Main Street Media is dedicated to that. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout. We'll take 2 minutes. We'll be right back. You are listening to Main Street Radio, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
At Dixon Tater Shack, we take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint. We're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Complete Service Heat and Air is a trusted provider of top-notch heating and cooling solutions dedicated to ensuring optimal comfort and efficiency for residential and commercial spaces. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way 24/7. Service, call us at 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50+ different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Welcome to the GR Group at Cry Like Realtors. Our team is comprised of seasoned veterans, military spouses, and other real estate professionals with strong ties to the military community. We specialize in helping our clients buy and sell homes, as well as providing comprehensive services for commercial and land properties. Whether you're relocating to the area, interested in buying or selling a home, or looking for commercial or land properties, the GR Group has the expertise and resources to help you achieve your real estate goals. Contact the GR Group today.
Halftime here as you're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office alongside Scott Stewart. Wade Neely saying hello. Oakland band knocking things out. And you can feel the anticipation from the Siegel marching band kind of brewing here. And they are an award-winning squad set to deliver a fantastic performance here at the break. And Scott, you ran down some of the scoring. You ran down kind of how we got here. 14-7. This has been a slobber knocker of a ball game as these two teams trading blows in this big region showdown. We mentioned earlier that Riverdale is also at home tonight, and we can tell you at halftime, or at least very close to it, they are up 42-0 on Cane Ridge Riverdale just putting a punch. And by the way, you mentioned that Battle of the Borough, Friday, October 27th, your last regular season game. Riverdale goes to Oakland, and Riverdale closes with at Siegel and at Oakland.
That'll be, yeah. How about those games? How about that? How about that for a town to have those kind of rivalries? Of course, Riverdale and Oakland's been a rivalry for years, decades, and now that we got Blackman and Siegel here, to have those Fort and Rockville and really Eagleville, but Rockville and Siegel and Oakland, all those guys to have those kind of crosstown rivalries where you can go and end your season against Siegel and then Oakland if you're Riverdale. I don't know how you could ask for much better than that. Let me give you some numbers. There's not a lot because really, to be honest with you, it's been a game of big plays that have ended up scoring the touchdowns, and so your numbers aren't huge. They're just enough to get us where we are. If you want to,
yeah.
Oakland, the running back for Oakland. Let me get the Hainsworth had three carries for 14 yards, and Jones had 4 carries for 7 yards, and then of course Morris had 4 for 64 yards and the touchdown, 46 of that coming on the one run. And the quarterback, Creasy, who came in, who has not played, this is his first game back since being hurt early in the season, was 2 of 3 for 14 yards. And so you got 85 rushing yards, 14 passing yards, 99 total yards for Oakland, which tells you a lot about what the Siegel defense has been doing more than anything. Siegel's defense has come to play tonight, and they've done a good job of holding down the Patriot attack. For the Stars, it was Christian Fletcher, 11 for 39, carries for 39. Also carrying the ball, Owen Black. Black carried 2 for 6. The passing, of course, we lost Thomas Santel on that second possession. Only the third. Really, I think he played 4 plays, which sounds familiar to somebody who knows something.
Careful, big dog.
To my Jets fan to my left. But
Careful.
Thomas Santel played 4 plays, and on that 4th play, he was injured. And so he's out. But his backup, another senior, Alcantara, came in, and he threw 4 of 7 for 71 yards and a touchdown. 2 of those passes for 66 yards to Torian Grant. So 71 passing, 45 rushing, 116 total yards for Siegel. 116 yards for Siegel, 99 yards for 200 yards, a little over 200 yards between the two of them. So
we've done so many games that feel. Well, let's backtrack. Our very first game was 0-0 until about 5 minutes left, but it was
right up the road here.
Just at Laverne, and that had a lot different feel that night than this particular game did. We're seeing 2 really great defenses stand up and bow up tonight, but we're also seeing a lot of great plays being made individually, and the coaching staffs have done a fantastic job as well, as it is 14-7. Here, I mentioned Riverdale is leading another game in the mid-state. Loretto is 6-0. That's down in our neck of the woods, Scott Stewart. They're taking on East Hickman tonight, and East Hickman has improved. They're 3-3, and that is a region game as well. And Loretto was trailing in that game, but now it's 14-6 at halftime. All other games, one other game, Stewart's Creek, right here in Rutherford County as well, leads West Creek. The Creek battle, if you will.
Right.
27-7. That game is at
West
half.
Creek, another team we saw in that first game. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. Laverne and West Creek. And, we're in Murfreesboro.
Yep.
Oakland is wearing red, and Siegel's wearing blue.
So you got a red and blue game going on somewhere across the state?
It's not the only red and blue game involving a team from Murfreesboro, as we'd be remiss if we didn't mention, but it is not looking so great for our Blue Raiders. Western Kentucky, those pesky Hilltoppers, are leading right before halftime, 23-3. And I joked with you, I'm wearing my MTSU polo right now. I do have a red polo in the car. Number one, I ain't walking that far. This is a huge facility, so I'm not going to expend those kind of steps at the break. But number two, I'm going to bleed blue. I was there at homecoming last week. They lost a heartbreaker to Colorado State, but golly, you don't want to fall to 1-4, and you definitely don't want to lose to Western Kentucky, but that's what we're faced with at the break there.
Yeah, not looking good for the Blue Raiders this year so far.
As
Need to find something to bust out of this. And right now, you playing a pretty good Western Kentucky team, and you're down 20. It'll be hard to come back from that. But the team in blue here is playing good tonight. Team in red here is playing good tonight. Team in red actually is leading as well, 14-7.
How about that? As those games are across the mid-state tonight. Other games, including our Main Street Preps Game of the Week tomorrow night, Davidson Academy travels to Franklin Road Academy. These predictions can all be checked out on Main Street Preps. Everybody but one is predicting FRA to knock off Davidson Academy. Chris Yao says, not so fast, my friend, 28-24. He's calling for Davidson Academy to pull the upset. Mount Juliet goes to Antioch. Everybody predicting Mount Juliet to take care of Antioch there. Here's a game that will pique your interest a little bit. You got Macon County taking the trip to Smithville tomorrow night.
Smith Vegas.
Always tough to go into Smith Vegas. Always tough to go into Smith Vegas and get a win, but a lot of people, our panel, everybody picking Macon County, who is a really good team, to go in. Don't be surprised, though. I picked Macon County as well, but don't be surprised if DeKalb County sneaks out a little something. Another big game in the mid-state, Mount Pleasant. They suffered a loss for the first time last week, but they got another tough foe coming in, DCA, as Donaldson Christian will go to the Mount. And that is going to be a hard-fought game. A couple of folks picking Mount Pleasant, Blaine Keller and Chris Yao, both taking Mount Pleasant. Myself and Mo Patton and some others taking DCA. Wilson Central travels to Lebanon. That game is going to be a good one.
Big. You talk about a rivalry, inter-county rivalry, cross-city rivalry, whatever you want to call it. That's a knockdown drag out right there.
And, it just dawned on me.
Even Justin Kulik was talking about it.
You are exactly right, by the way. And it kind of just dawned on me, as big of a game as that is and as big of a spectacle as the Wilson County Fair is, they need to find a way to just play that game like at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, kind of be like the Texas-Oklahoma game.
Yeah, just have it right there at the fair every year.
Yeah.
Everybody is predicting Lebanon to knock off Wilson Central. Justin Kulik says, thank you for that prediction there.
Lebanon played Watertown, and there's a little bit of Watertown connection for us because Giles County plays Watertown tomorrow. That's what way it'll be tomorrow evening. But, Lebanon, do you realize that Lebanon and Watertown, what are they, 20 minutes apart, something like that? They didn't play since 1960-something. It was like the first time they played since 19. I was listening to our Main Street media guys up there in Wilson County talking about it, and it's interesting to me that those two teams can be that far apart. And if I remember right, and they'll probably get mad at me if I get it wrong, but Watertown beat Lebanon in 1960-something, and pretty much wouldn't agree to the contract to play anymore. And now, don't anybody hold me that. I'm remembering that from 2 weeks ago, and I can't hardly remember what I did this morning. So you guys will have to forgive me if I'm wrong, but there is some correctness in that. Let me say it that way.
Now, take this for what it's worth. But if you go to bear with me, folks, but if you go to the Alabama high school football database,
right,
they actually have a pretty good database for Tennessee. Watertown and Lebanon had not met since 1964. It was played at Lafayette, and it was the Industrial Bowl, they called it. Watertown knocks them off 9-7,
and won't play, and haven't played them since till last Friday night. And Lebanon wiped the field up with them. But that's neither here nor there. It's just the interesting fact that they really wouldn't play them, and they even talked about the old coaches and how their attitudes towards. You ought to go back. It's on MSM television because that's where I watched it. So if you've got MSM TV, or you can go to the Wilson County Post website Facebook page, it's on there. I'm telling you, you can go watch that interview with the Lebanon head coach.
Our good buddy Mo Patton would love this too, because sometimes we just love good old fashioned pettiness, and that is like a classic high school football story right there.
There's nothing better than a petty football rivalry. Are you kidding me?
Since 1967, but Lebanon finally got its revenge. 64, beg pardon, gets its revenge. Other quick games before we get back into second half action here. Hillsboro travels to Nolensville. Everybody predicted Nolensville to knock off Hillsboro. Dixon County goes up the road to Rossview. Everybody's predicting Rossview. A lot of unanimous predictions this week. Scott, it's all about the bees. The Upperman Bees are traveling to Smith County. Lone man.
I've got a B hat in the back of my car.
Lone man. That's a different kind of B. I have a feeling.
Different team, but I've got me.
You
some
may have to
Bs.
represent. Chris Yao is the only one predicting Smith County 21-20 though. He predicts a squeaker. Everybody else is taking the Upperman Bees. Final few games. Hendersonville is at Springfield. Everybody taking Hendersonville in that one. And then this one is going to tickle your fancy, and it's divisive. Station Camp goes to White House, and it's basically 50-50 in the predictions.
Right. White House, had a pretty good season going. They got down to Marshall County and got slammed, but they've been able to recoup. White House got a pretty good team this year. BDP, baby. Blue Devil Pride. They're my second team. My third team. Giles County, Richland, and White House. All three places where I've lived. Of course, I've lived in Murfreesboro, too. So some of these Murfreesboro teams, Riverdale and Oakland, be on my list as well.
And
I knew BDP, baby.
I knew I could not be in the office with you all week if I had gone against the Blue Devils, so I picked White House 21-13.
Yeah, we might have to have a talk.
Oakland has lined up for the second half kickoff. That wraps up a wild halftime show. But a lot of fun here as it's 14-7.
We gave you
and this goes into the end zone for the touchback.
We gave you a lot of very good, partially correct information.
Yes, that is about as well said as we can get. As Oakland has booted it into the end zone. Again, 14-7. This game got started. Oakland had the ball first. They were forced to punt. Siegel lines up, promptly throws a pick six on their very first play. And then Santel was injured on the ensuing offensive drive. Siegel comes down, eventually makes it 7-7 after a nice touchdown catch from Grant. But then Oakland bounces to the outside for a long touchdown, 14-7. First play of the second half, and it's a give to the right. And a potential face mask there, but play on, says our official. Trey Johnson with a good tackle from the linebacker position. Minimal gain there for the Stars.
Fletcher running hard. He's had most of his success up the middle. They're trying to run him off tackle a little bit now, and it's just not going as well. I'd like to see him, Murfreesboro's gone to this 3-4, three-down lineman. I'd like to see him run up the middle a little bit more.
A little bit of a wobbly snap, but finally into the hands of the Siegel backup quarterback, A.J. Kachara, and he fires a long throw across the field, kind of a long handoff, if you will, and it's brought in, but a very minimal gain. That long throw allowed Oakland to fly to the football, and it'll be 3rd and about 6 after they spot it here.
You got it out to Grant. Only got a couple yards out of that.
The only thing you're wondering is Siegel has not, other than the long touchdown, exploded for any big plays tonight. Get the feeling they might need one to really get back in this game. 14-7. Oakland bringing a lot of pressure. Kachara throws off his back foot and nearly hauling it in.
That's a connection that they have not been able to make with the tight end, and he has been absolutely wide open. I think as wide open as anybody I've seen in a long time. They're not covering him, but they have not been able to make that connection, and that's got to be frustrating.
The pressure forced Kachara to throw off his back foot. And you kind of almost thought it was a screen the way it looked like that, but it was not a designed screenplay. And Watson was unable to haul it in. He was kind of falling to his backside there. And so the punt unit comes out. Good stand defensively for Oakland.
Yep. They're really kind of they've gotten really close to blocking that thing a couple of times too.
That rugby kick, and it bounces at the 39. It is picked up by the Patriots running with a full head of speed toward the Oakland sideline is DeJuan Morris, who has the long touchdown tonight, but he is bottled up. Good coverage there from the Siegel special teams unit.
I'll tell you, I don't think Siegel, and I didn't get the guy's number over on that far side, but somebody got over on far enough to turn Morris back up, or else he was about to be in the house. I'm just telling you, I didn't get the guy's number, but that's the only reason that he didn't house that thing was one man turned him back.
Good containment on the edge there. Oakland's had a revolving door at quarterback at times tonight as well. Looks like Creasy will come back in, and a give right up the gut off the right tackle, and big yardage. Nearly popping free was Jones, Ashton Jones, the senior. Outside of the long touchdown run from Morris a moment ago, that's the longest run of the night for Oakland. They pick up about 12, maybe 13 yards perhaps on that.
Right, and he's been frustrated all night too, so it's good to see him, see Jones break free because he's been really frustrated on the ground tonight.
So now beyond midfield, Oakland has owned the field possession battle all night.
Oh, yeah.
And now they give to the left, and a good job of Morris of stopping and cutting upfield. We mentioned Morris transferring in from Red Bank, who was a 4A powerhouse. Oakland lost one of its expected top returners at tailback just weeks before the season. And then in the blink of an eye, they found Morris, who was willing to fill in that role. He picks up a couple of yards here. They'll snap it from the Siegel 40. 14-7 is your score here in the third. And this time scouted out beautifully by the Stars. And coming up and making the tackle at the end of that was Cale Harrison. Oakland's got a lot of beef up front, but Siegel's line is playing very well defensively tonight.
They have. They inspired, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the word I look for because they've been up against it and still have just maintained integrity all across the formation, the defensive formation.
14-7 is your score. Little kind of a slow developing run, almost a draw type run here. And if you're a Siegel fan, this is not great because Morris is
starting to
get a little mojo here. He's out to the 30 for a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and this is when you get somebody like that can punch it up the middle and you're having a hard time getting him down. This is where you're in danger of something happening. Like you got Marson, they'll slide over here on the left. Something crazy can happen to you right about here.
Yep, and they bring him in motion. He's purely as a decoy as they give on the dive up the middle.
The offensive line for Oakland has come out with a completely different attitude. They are blowing them off the ball 3 or 4 yards every play right now.
And one of the guys pushing everybody's big Caden Mowell. Caden's a junior. He's got offers or looks from Tennessee, Cincinnati, Memphis.
Yeah.
He is moving some folks on the offensive line.
It's a completely different look. I mean, before Siegel was in the backfield half the time, and right now they're getting blown off the ball completely.
Deuce Hewitt, who's going to Liberty, he comes in motion here from the left to the right, and now a give to the right. Oh, my, slicing and dicing. Like a little Jell-O back there. He's hard to get a hold of as Jones, Jones didn't move but about 2 or 3 yards, but he eluded 1 or 2 defenders in that little confined space. He picks up a fresh set of downs. This is the best drive maybe start to finish from Oakland all night.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, everything's been really on 2 plays for them, but I don't know what was said at halftime, but the offensive line is playing a lot better. I can promise you that. Ooh.
Give up the middle, hat on a hat, and it's Siegel leading the charge.
It's number 54 on that tackle.
Good stop there from Ward. That's Colby Ward laying the wood. Also, Andrew Varner kind of in at the tail end of that tackle there. Maybe a small loss on the play, 2nd and 1.
You saw some stunt action. That's the reason Siegel was able to get into the backfield on that. And but until that play right there, the line of scrimmage have been commanded by Oakland here in the second half so far.
Deuce Hewitt, the tight end, again in motion, H-back, I should say, as he, oh my goodness, paves away on the right side. I thought that play was going for only a yard or 2, but Morris just did a great job of churning his legs and getting down to about the 6-yard line. Never gave up on the play, and that is a great tote for DeJuan Morris. He's a junior, and they are really high on this kid in his first season at Oakland.
8 plays so far, Wade, on this drive. It's been a methodical running play right down the middle, down to the 6 at this point.
3rd and 3. Trap play to the right. Yep, walking in untouched. Unfortunate there for Siegel as they'd played so well in the first half, but Oakland kind of restores a little sense of order perhaps. 2nd rushing touchdown of the night for Morris. This one coming in from about 6 yards out. And the Patriots have their largest lead of the night. It is 20-7, 6:36 remaining here in the third quarter.
9 plays, 56 yards. Get you some time here in just a minute. That's an impressive drive right there.
Yep, that is
so actually right at 4 minutes.
That is big boy football at its finest right there. So now Siegel backs against the wall with a backup quarterback now trailing by 2 touchdowns. Then we'll get a look at the offense when we come back right after this. 21-7, your new score. We are back in 30 seconds as we listen to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Thank you, Scott. As we welcome you back in, you're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. Siegel was 3 and out on its opening possession of the third quarter, and the Patriots rattled off a very impressive drive. 6:36 to go in the third. They lead at 21-7.
Yeah, that could be a backbreaker. Siegel, obviously the backup quarterback has come in and played really good, but it's not the starting quarterback who, like I said, really the majority of the offense ran through his legs and his arm. So it's it's do or die on this drive right here, Wade. Siegel's going to have to move the ball at the very least because I think the last 2 or 3 possessions have been 3 and out. They really got to get something going offensively.
Can the Stars get something moving on the offensive side of the ball? They've kind of sputtered their last couple of drives here. Backs against the wall. They fake the pass and a nice little draw play there out to the 25-yard line, 26 now. 6-yard carry.
Yeah, Fletcher's been great on their offense, and he's averaging 5-6 yards a carry, so they need to just stick with him.
You gave his halftime stats, and it's one of those classic stat lines where you're saying, wow, that's all he got, because he has been running hard all night long.
He has rattled off 5 or 6 yards just about every time they run him right up the middle like that.
And they go down to the left. Oh, flying to the ball and making a big-time stop for the Patriots. Stopping the talented Fletcher dead in his tracks. That's the junior Caleb Ellison. Both teams have done a great job at gang tackling tonight. That was one of the rare solo dolo type tackles there.
Every time they try to go off tackle, though, he gets eat up. He's just
obvious passing down, and Kachara has to just dump it. Oakland has really cranked up the defensive pressure on passing downs, and tight end Watson, who has been open on several attempts tonight, he was covered up there. It's incomplete, and another 3 and out for the Stars. 5:25 to go here in the third.
Yeah, that's the last thing. I said that when they started this drive. Really, the last thing they could really afford to do was go 3 and out again. And now they're just putting their defense back out there, and their defense, as we saw last time, is starting to feel the effects of having these big Oakland kids leaning on them for most of this game so far.
The Patriots coming in, 1 loss on the season to a high-profile squad out of Indiana. Punt is away, and Siegel will down it at the 38, or excuse me, the 42. And again, I mentioned you need a big play. I was thinking offensively, but now it's maybe time you're thinking your defense. Siegel did have a takeaway briefly in the first half before they reversed the call. But man, a turnover would do wonders for the Stars here.
We never did talk a whole lot more about that play. That would have made a world of difference in this ball game. But yeah,
both then and now. You're right.
Right, exactly.
Game kind of slipping through the fingertips here. And now Oakland, oh my, busting into the second level. Foot race, 20, 15, end zone.
58 yards.
Dabbing across the finish line is DeJuan Moore, a shot out of a cannon. Made one man miss right in the hole. And then it was a foot race running right between the hashes for a quick strike, his third touchdown of the night, and the Patriots in the blink of an eye have opened this game up. It is 27-7 with 5 minutes to go here in the third.
Yeah, what was a battle to start this the first half of this ball of the night has really turned into what a lot of people expected coming in here. Oakland is just taking control, and the difference is, Wade, the offensive line. They did not play this well in the first half at all, anywhere near it. And I don't know what they said. I don't know what they did, but they brought that offensive line back out here in the second half, and they have taken over this ballgame.
Oakland boots the PAT and pushes it. It's 28-7 late in the third. Scott and I are back right after this. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Welcome back, folks. Alongside Scott Stewart, our producer, the great one, Justin Kulik. Man, Scott, not only is Oakland pouring it on the scoreboard, these kickoffs are getting deeper and deeper.
I know.
As Siegel fields it first at maybe the goal line, then deeper, and then deeper. Now this one was about 7 or 8 yards deep.
Might as well be the same.
Yeah.
As long as it gets
right.
End zone is 20, which is where Siegel's pretty much started from. Best start position they've had tonight's 32-yard line. That they scored a touchdown on that drive. Their last 3 possessions have been 3 and outs, and Siegel is in dire need of something good to happen. They really need something good to happen, and Oakland's playing downhill on them right now.
Patriots have come to play here in the second half. And again, if you're just joining us, second drive of the game offensively. First drive ended with a pick 6, and then Santel, the star quarterback for the Siegel Stars, goes out with an injury. He is out for the duration and maybe likely the foreseeable future, but they fought back, got it to 7-7, but it's been Oakland ever since. Give up the middle, right into the teeth. Good tackle there by Dre Oldham, the junior D lineman. And even the kind of creativity the Stars had offensively is kind of gone by the wayside a little bit here. They're really timid offensively at the moment.
Yeah. You just got to realize, Wade, that you can't lose what Santel brought to your team and be able to consistently move the ball like you would, especially against Oakland. I mean, of all teams, I mean, you had to hope for some good fortune to come your way, and it just really hasn't. They've earned everything that they've got.
No, there's no doubt. As this is dumped in the flat, in and out of the hands of an intended receiver. Inslee was the target. Pretty good coverage there by the Patriots. And everybody was kind of standing around. Siegel briefly thought about going for it. Now they're going to send the punt unit out. Schofield, I would say, kind of waving the white flag here, but down in distance. 4th and 3 at your own 27. I can make the argument for maybe rolling the dice there, but they're going to punt and see if they can get a stop defensively. And if you're just joining us, Siegel's defense was fantastic in the first half outside of one busted play. They continue to get closer and closer to blocking this kick. Even on the rugby attempt, the kick is not getting away. It's inches at best from being blocked every kick. And the ball will scoot out of bounds at the 49.
And
Oakland's on 49.
And as bad as Siegel's field position has been, Oakland's has been just the opposite. They've pretty much been at half midfield the whole game. Inside, between their 40 and their own 40 and in from there, really, to be honest with you. In their 40 and the 50, they were right at midfield all night.
Siegel kind of stacking the box here, creeping closer. Oakland's like, you know what? We've been running the ball. We're not going to stop now. And nice little carry for your backup back. That's Hainsworth. Hainsworth he kind of runs very vertically. And he was upended there. Good little tackle from Harrison. Seagulls, and man, they just desperately, if you could get a turnover somehow, you could maybe think about crawling back in this game, but they're going to need a lucky break at this juncture with 3:07 to go here in the third.
Yes, sir. Trying to keep some stats, Wade.
Play fake, they will throw for it, kind of just because why not? And now Oakland's running back toward the original line of scrimmage. The play will lose about a yard. They tossed it in the slot. It was complete. I think that was to Morris out there. And Morris actually ran back toward the line, and the quarterback, Creasy, was there. And Morris thought about lateraling it briefly. I mean briefly, though, but he ends up eating the ball, and that's probably a smart decision.
Yeah, no gain, maybe a loss on the play of a couple of yards. It's third down now and about 3 for Oakland inside the 45-yard line of Siegel.
2:11 to go. This is Freeman now, the backup. He fires one toward the sideline. Bandy has to fall to his knees, but he does make the catch, and it is enough for the first down. Needed only 3 yards, and he pushes it out to the 37.
Got about 7.
Yeah, about a 7-yard pickup. And Siegel just afraid of the big play there, and Bandy just ran a curl route and came back to it. Just when I said Oakland's just flexing his muscle running the ball, they've now completed a couple passes. They're going to throw for it here. Here's Creasy. Firing one is complete on that far sideline. Bandy, the junior wideout, hauling it in. And we've seen, what do you think this means? We're seeing Creasy getting a lot of reps here. Again, if you're just tuning in, he was injured in game number 2. This is his first action. You developed a great backup, if nothing else, in Freeman, but both quarterbacks have played very well tonight throwing the ball.
I think it means that you're trying to work your starter back in, and you want to give them both reps.
Minute 38 to go. They're play faking, now tossing it toward that sideline to Morris, who hauls it in and immediately turns on the jets and gets out to around the 16. They're going kind of old school Florida Gators Spurrier style, where they're rotating every play almost, which is kind of fun to watch. Kind of maddening as a broadcaster, but it's fun to watch.
I don't know that in a game, a tightly contested game, they'd be doing this, but I think it's a great opportunity for them to work Creasy back in.
2nd and 2. Give up the middle, eluding the first wave of defenders. And brought down is Ashton Jones. Man, Oakland, they've got great beef up front. They got Jones. They got Hainsworth. You got Morris, obviously. They're fun to watch. They're explosive. And we know Siegel, obviously, is explosive, too. It's very unfortunate, as you mentioned, that with the quarterback injury.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just hate that for Santel, and just hate you wanted to see Siegel hang in this game and make it a little closer just because of how hard they played that first half.
Give up the middle here. A couple of yards. Going to get you a score or two of interest when we get the fourth quarter underway here in a moment. Oakland does not really have to snap it again. And they're huddling up, slowly coming to the line. That might take us to the fourth. And there it is. So we go to the fourth quarter, 28-7. Oakland puts A couple of nice touchdown drives together, and Siegel's offense is sputtering. Patriots with a big lead as we kick off the fourth quarter. Right after this, you're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Back in 60 seconds.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Good cyclist please, and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
We welcome you back, folks. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Thank you so much to our staff here at Siegel High School, including our main man, Chad Fields, holding it down here in the press box, taking care of us. Everybody, both teams really, and not just tonight, but all season long, has been very gracious to us.
Yep. Just had an amazing 25-yard field goal there at halftime.
Yeah, there was a kick for cash, $100 winner, giving out a high snap. And Siegel doesn't give up on the play.
Siegel got it.
And looks like the Stars have recovered, and the Patriots somehow, I don't know how Morris got to that ball. That's the second time tonight that Morris has been in at the Wildcat, and it's the second time tonight there's been a bad snap, and Siegel hasn't been able to recover either one, unfortunately. I'm like you. I thought Siegel for sure picked that up. And Morris, he's so explosive. He's not really thinking, I want to get possession. He's thinking, how can I pick this up and score?
Of course, nobody's raising Kane down on the Siegel sideline, which is pretty good indication that.
From our angle, it looked.
From this perspective, it definitely looked rough.
It looked like it was a Siegel ball, but Oakland leads 28-7. We were tied at 7 once upon a time, and now we got a reverse, giving back to Morris running to the left, and suddenly he develops a couple of blockers. Oh my, that's just adding insult to injury.
That ain't
Morris, wow. A give to the right, Morris on a reverse to the left, and then out of nowhere there were 2 or 3 hog mollies just blocking downfield for him. He probably could have done it by himself, but not when you got the beef behind him. That is the 4th rushing touchdown of the night for DeJuan Morris, and the junior puts Oakland ahead 34-7.
That's just unfair. That's all that is.
Woo.
Is that his third or his fourth touchdown? That's his fourth touchdown. 4 touchdowns now. 9 carries for 144 and 4 touchdowns. And part of that 144 was that negative 15 on the fumble, or else he'd be over 150. Wow. To watch him move in traffic is he's one of the more impressive backs we've seen so far, Wade. We've seen some pretty good ones. Don't get me wrong. We've been, we saw CPA play. We've seen some good football players, some good running backs. Both the running backs at James Lawson and Stratford that we saw were great running backs. But this kid moves really well. He's moving in traffic. He's leaving people grabbing air inside the hashes there. It's pretty good, pretty impressive stuff.
Patriots extend their lead 35-7. DeJuan Morris, Jr., officially listed as a wide receiver, but he's really a playmaker is what he is. Got interest from Colorado, Duke, Eastern Kentucky, Chattanooga, and Austin Peay.
Let me guess. Siegel starts at the 20.
Yes. Right when you were saying that, it looked for just a moment like the kicker, Taylor, was going to hitch and try and just pin them at the 5 and see what happens, but why not just kick it deep every time?
He has been at least midway through the end zone on every kick, including that last one.
Next week, we're in Williamson County. Thursday night Thursday night game of the week coverage on Main Street Radio, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We are at Franklin, where Franklin will host Ravenwood. And that's one of those games that on paper, you're saying, all right, this is a big-time Ravenwood win, but see if Franklin can pull something together. A lot of pressure here, and oh my, Kachara is upended. And as much pressure as Oakland has gotten tonight, Kachara's done a fantastic job of getting rid of the football. He avoids the sack somehow, some way there.
He held on to that one a little bit longer than he has been, and he almost ate it. He was able to get rid of it and throw it towards Grant. It's great to have a weapon like Grant, but if you can't get the ball, hold the ball long enough to get it to him, then it's difficult to utilize it.
And to make matters worse, he went for a little ride at the end of that play. And the last thing you want is your backup quarterback to get injured.
Exactly.
11 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in this contest. Kachara now drop, firing. Gorgeous deep ball, but about 10 yards beyond his intended target.
Uh-oh. Somebody's helmet's got knocked off.
Little first bit of chippiness for either side tonight. Caleb Payne lost his war bonnet there. And luckily, cooler heads have prevailed. I'm at the verge or risk, I should say, of jinxing this, but this is a very cleanly played ball game. Not a lot of penalties for either team. Which is a far cry from some of our previous contests.
Maybe 2 flags tops, I think. I can't remember much more than 2.
Oakland had a hold in the first half, had a false start.
Maybe 3 or 4. Couple
but
of
not many.
offsides.
Yeah, no more than that. 4 wideouts. Shotgun package here. Patting the ball. Kachara. First read not there. Second read not there. Fleeing, finding. And they are still battling for the ball, but it's Watson coming up with it. Finally, Watson makes the grab. The tight end. He hauled it in, and he was locked in a battle with Tutt. And they literally were fighting for the ball for 2 yards, finally out of bounds, and Watson ultimately ends up with possession.
They finally made that connection. That connection could have made a lot of different. Siegel's going to look back at this game and think there's a lot of different plays that could have made a difference in this game. That fumble that was back inside the 10-yard line, the couple of times that they've had the tight end Watson open and he's not been able to haul it in. Just some plays like that. And, of course, obviously not throwing a pick six, not giving up the big plays. They're going to look back and realize, although they're playing a really good team, don't get me wrong, and there's been a penalty called as you caused this way, by the way. You know that, right?
I told you just a moment ago. I said, I know I'm risking jinxing this here, but here we are. And it's
I call him a tight end. He kind of plays more in the slot.
Yeah. He's definitely built more like a slot receiver.
Yeah.
But he's moonlighted at tight end. Watson he's been open a lot tonight. They go back to the ground. And I think that's a new ball carrier here. Oakland coming up making the stop. Trey Johnson, the senior linebacker, comes out of the pile, kind of flexing there. As that's the second or third tote for Owen Black, the senior, tonight. 10.5 to go. It's 35-7. Trips to the right. And Oakland's bringing pressure. Looking and extending. Incomplete. Overthrown. I tell you what, Kachara and Watson, they can just get that chemistry tweaked. They've had some great looks
Kachara's
tonight.
got a great arm.
Yeah.
He's, like I said, he is a senior. He is the backup quarterback, but he's a senior, got a really good arm. The touch isn't there because he's just not used to being in the game type situations, right? But, you put him out here in a couple of weeks, and he's going to be a lot better just because he's going to have all the reps, all the game time reps.
And this pass is fired toward the sideline, and it is caught. Good grab for Grant there. And is that going to move the chains?
Yep.
Yeah, it will. Good
Once
snag
again,
there.
all these passes that we talk about Grant catching, he's going up the ladder to get these things. I mean, his vertical is about 2.5, 3 feet, looks like, and he's going up getting them tall.
Give goes to the backup tailback Black. He's brought down in the backfield. And a good stop there by Quentin Norfolk, who's had a really good game for Oakland. Siegel is – both of these teams are on bye week, and that's a great point with Kachara in as the backup now.
Yeah.
Depending on, most hold for the snap here on 2nd and 9. Now they're going to get the play from the sideline here. Kachara, deep drop, loading. Got a man.
Oh.
But that one's intercepted.
Waited too late.
Thrown into double coverage 4th or 5th time tonight. And that time Oakland burns them. They've already returned one for a touchdown tonight. And this one is returned out to the 47.
We're about to get penalties over on the sideline.
Yeah, there was a huge Donnybrook developing on that far sideline. And, it's unfortunate because it was Caleb Payne. Bad stuff always happens on interception returns.
Yes.
You got people looking for vicious hits that usually don't get a chance to give them. And Payne got his helmet ripped off a minute ago, and he grabbed somebody's from Oakland and said, you know what, I'm going to get mine.
Yeah, he did.
I'm going to get mine. And he did. And he comes straight to the sideline like, you know what, I did. But
and, yeah, they're out the 40. The ball is down there just short of the 40. There's going to be about a 15-yard, at least one 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty coming up right here. Personal foul, actually, against Siegel. It's going to move it inside the 50-yard line.
I just love that because
oh yeah, he got it.
Like I said, it was 100% a payback. He's like, you rip mine off, I'm gonna rip yours off.
I'm coming to get it.
And even as kind of crazy and violent as that looked over there, it was.
You can almost understand.
It was very little civil. Had a bit of civility about it. So. Was just getting ready to point out we're at Franklin next week. Both these teams are on bye with fall break. And with teams as powerful and as competitive as this, you're going to treat that as just any other practice week. So Kachara will get a chance to kind of really get familiar with the offense.
Assuming he's going to need it, of course. We're not doctors. We didn't see what happened, but we think that that's probably what's going to be the case, right?
Yep. Hainsworth running hard to the right. His helmet comes off. That was inadvertent, however.
War bonnets everywhere, Wade.
They are flying, buddy. And that one popped off. Oakland will host Coffee County. And Coffee County is 1-5, so Oakland should pull back another nice win there. And then Siegel's got a tough game at Beach on Friday the 13th.
That's not a region game.
Not a region game, and then you close with Riverdale and Rockvale. So both of these squads closing out the final 8.5 minutes here. A little end around, and no one ever finally catching up to Jones, who's still your starting tailback. He's still in there running hard. 35-7. He picks up first down yardage.
Got him sealed off on that left side to the wide side of the field. He was able to chase his way all the way to the 12 before knocked out of bounds.
Big games all across the mid-state tomorrow, folks.
Starting to build some playoff scenarios is what we're doing.
That's always one of my favorite times is when that first week when TSSAA pops that little link on the website where you can check out the official playoff scenarios. Give up the middle. Hainsworth, again, he runs vertically, and he's just marching his feet, chopping up yardage and rumbling in from 26 yards out. He never really got above third gear right there, but he didn't have to. There was a huge hole, and he was off to the races.
26
Avery Hainsworth rumbles in and is going to make this game 41, potentially 42-7. which is the second week in a row, the CPA versus BGA game we did. This game was, and this one even more so, it was really hanging into balance into the second half.
Right.
But the final score is going to be very deceiving here tonight.
It's going to be deceiving as the way it looked to start off with, that's for sure. Siegel came out, played, as I think I called it, inspired football. They came out on the defensive side of the ball. They were able to do some things that disrupted Oakland's offense. They didn't have the opportunity to take advantage of what they were able to do defensively because their offense struggled due to the fact that their main quarterback went down. Nothing against the kid that came in behind him. Nothing against Chikara, but he's not Santel, right? And so, second half, something happened in that locker room for Oakland that these kids came out with a different attitude. Almost looked like a different team, to be honest.
I think it started in the trenches. Remember that first half? We commented several times about the surge on offense in particular for Siegel up front, but the defensive line showing up for Oakland and then the O-line paving the way.
Absolutely. They've given, four rushing touchdowns now in the second half.
Yep.
Tells you all you need to know right there.
This is going to be a 12th straight win.
That was not going in the end zone.
This will flicker.
Oh, it did, just barely.
And the return man for as Inslee kind of looked at, and you see this a lot when it gets fielded right at the goal line. The return man looks at the ref like, come on, man, you had to blow the whistle.
Yeah. You could have just acted like it didn't get off in there.
And it would have he'd be within his rights as we get ready to close this one out here. Scott, you and I head back south after this as Giles County and Richland, those are our normal coverage schools.
Yep.
Big showdown. Low snap here, Siegel. And they fall on it. You want to talk about a big region game tomorrow night. The Richland Raiders.
Winner pretty much takes second down, or takes second, don't they?
Yeah,
Richland. Yeah.
Richland is hosting Collinwood tomorrow night. And if you're a fan of high school football and you just want some good small town Americana, a little slice of pie there. Homecoming. Richland's hosting Collinwood. Collinwood is sitting there at 4-1. They're 2-0 in that region. Richland's 3-3. They're 2-1. Throw over the middle, caught by Watson. Watson. Man, this kid has been special all night long for the Stars. And when they finally have been able to link up, it's been for big chunk plays. As he hauls that in and on a little square in.
About 20 yards on that. That was kind of what I had seen as part of a big part of their offense in my research was that seam throw to him.
Throw over the middle, pump fake. Oh, it's intercepted. Undercutting and picking that one off. And down the sideline. And second interception of the half.
Be careful on those interceptions. Emotions get high on those interceptions, don't they?
Yeah, we got people headhunting on those there. So second interception of the second half. Hope I said that right for Kachara there. Third interception overall for the Patriots this evening. Game started with a pick six. Siegel's defense setting the tone, got a punt, and then backed up near their own end zone. Threw a pick six. Third INT of the night. Clock is rolling here. Final 5:40 remaining. Toss to the right. Some of the baby Patriots out here. And there's another helmet that has come off. And that's King, the senior, on the tote there. It's Kajaya King. And, you and I were just talking how we cover single A, 3A. Granted, they're really good programs. They're still single A. They're still 3A. We're seeing Oakland with really impressive, and Siegel for that matter too, with really impressive second and third string players. Kachara would start for a wide variety of teams at quarterback, and he's the backup here for Siegel.
I know,
tonight.
right? Yeah.
This is a give up the middle. Look out, off to the races on that left side. Jones goes scampering into the end zone. About a 20-yard rumble. That is Jones's 11th touchdown on the ground this season.
Yep.
Had 10 coming into tonight. Morris had 11 coming into tonight.
You see why Oakland is as highly rated as they are. And, like I say, Wade, the difference between both these teams between the first half and second half has been amazing to me. I think the biggest part of it is that Oakland, I don't know if you want to call it woke up or got fired up or whatever. They came out literally a different team in the second half.
Sometimes the coaches will tell you we just had to light a fire under them, had to challenge them a little bit.
Whatever they did, they need to bottle that up and take it with them wherever they go, because I tell you, of the teams that we've seen play, sure would like to put this team in CPA out.
Ooh, mama, I was reading your mind right there, because that would be a big-time clash between the best in D1 and the best in D2. Final timeout. We're going to take a 30-second break. It's 49-7. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Just under 5 minutes remaining. Oakland adding another touchdown, 49-7. When you get online later tonight or check out the next edition of the Murfreesboro Post, you're going to see this score. Say, man, well, that was easy for Oakland. And it was in the second half. It was a virtual stalemate, maybe even a slight edge, dare I say, to Siegel in the first half.
I agree.
But the second one has gotten away. Siegel's been down their star quarterback virtually the entire game with injury. And we were tied 7-7.
Morris broke off the 46-yarder. That made it 14-7. And Siegel played toe-to-toe with a really good Oakland team that whole first half.
And you just hope that this loss, loss doesn't derail.
It's their third loss in a row, too. It's kind of, you got to be careful. You don't want to see a good team, and Siegel's a good team. You don't want to see them lose their confidence.
Kachara remains in at quarterback, and he turns and gives. And I think we still got Fletcher in there.
No, that's
a backup.
25.
That's Watson.
He's a little too tall to be Fletcher.
Yeah, you're right about that. Watson taking a carry out of the backfield.
No,
Second and 12.
Not Watson either. It's not 25. It's 35.
35. Excuse me. That was Caden Thompson. Even the press box officials here were a little confused. Thompson running to his left here. He's brought down at around the 22. Oakland's going to win this game in a big fashion tonight. They're going to go to 19-4 in the all-time series. Siegel's last win, they made them count though, Scott. 2012. That might have been during the Brent Stockstill era, as they beat them not once but twice that year. Got them in the playoffs. It's always fun, or a treat when you can meet that rival in the postseason again. Rolling out here on third and 9, Kachara with his best protection of the night, and he launches one deep, and it's intercepted. Another pick. That's the fourth of the evening.
Is it the fifth? I think it's 4 here in the second half, isn't it? I may be wrong.
I think we had that first one from Santel, and then we had – I think you're right. I've kind of lost count. I'm getting a little delirious here. I blame it on the full moon tonight.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful one.
As Oakland takes over and we are moments away. I will say this. just from the eye test, it looks like some of the baby Patriots are definitely in the game now.
Yes.
We've got the youngsters out there.
The sophomore Freeman is out there, but he is a baby Patriot.
William Millsap, also a sophomore. He's in. He goes in motion, setting up to block. I think he was blocking for Smotherman. That's Brian Smotherman, I should say, a backup back there. Siegel substituting in. Here comes your boy, JoJo Harris, number 59. It's a good old football name there. I know producer Kulik's going to be excited about that one.
JoJo.
Again, folks, next week
I like his taters already.
Hey, you can go to that. Was it the Dixon County Tater Shack, my friend?
I'm going to that next time I'm in Dixon. I'm telling
We
you.
are stopping. Me, you, and/or Chris Yao, Mo Patton are going to all check it out. Toss play to the right. Ooh, good head of steam. That's Kenny Gregory. And he's a little slow to get up. He lost his helmet at the end of the play. You know, there's been so much in the media and on social media about the officials and the knee pads this year. After watching the tape tonight, we're going to say, we don't got a knee pad issue. We got to make sure these helmets are locked on a little tighter. That's a fifth or sixth one we've lost tonight. And only one has been intentional, I think.
I know, right?
Final snap or two. 49-7. Oakland is going to come in and get a big win here tonight. If you've been with us, this was a lot closer ball game. 14-7 at the break. And there's a tote for the young tailback, Millsap. And that might be our final carry. It'll be fourth down. I don't think Oakland's going to take another snap. They won't. Scott Stewart, that is a final tonight. 14-7 at the break, but Oakland runs away with it in the second half. Spirited effort from Siegel, but Oakland's firepower catches up in a big way, and they win it going away 49-7 here on Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week action.
Yeah, you didn't see that second half coming, Wade. I didn't. I mean, I knew we had a good team with Oakland.
Not quite like that, at least.
No, I knew Oakland was a good team. Don't get me wrong. And I was expecting, more out of them in the first half. And I definitely just did not see them coming out and taking names, I guess is the best way you could say it, as like they did in the second half. They completely dominated this game from the kickoff of the second half on. But they knew they were in a game in the first, and I'd like to sing what, like I said, I'd like to bottle up whatever they said to them at halftime and take that with me, because I think you could probably make a little money off of it.
Little go-go juice was consumed at halftime for the Patriots because they come out and run away with it here. But again, hats off to Siegel, and obviously very safe and speedy recovery
for Santel.
Thomas Santel.
Yeah, I hope we're wrong about that. I hope that he comes out of the bye week and he's as good as gold, but it just did not look good, Wade. It did not look good at all.
Nope. And so we will reassess. Siegel shall reassess in a couple of weeks. Again, both of these teams are off. And then we got matchups as Oakland, getting all my Rutherford County schools mixed up here. Oakland will host Coffee County, and Siegel. And again, this is a tough, you hope it doesn't linger, because they played a great first half tonight, but they got to travel to Beach. That'll be a tough out. But if you can win that one, you get Riverdale, which obviously is not going to be an easy assignment in your penultimate game. And then your final game you get versus Rockvale, which should be very winnable. So if you can kind of right the ship.
If you can find a way to turn it around and beat Beach, because Siegel's on that three-game losing streak. If they could stop that and then turn around, like you say, you got Rockvale and Eagleville and Rockvale. Yeah,
Riverdale and Rockvale.
Riverdale and Rockvale. I think they could play with Riverdale. I haven't heard how good Riverdale is as far as, obviously they're undefeated, and it'll be interesting to watch them in Oakland play. But I think Siegel and Riverdale probably would match up a little bit better. And then if they could just get to the point where if they could beat Beach somehow for another final win there, because they start off 4-0 and. They start off 4-0, and now they're tampering with going 4-5. before they get to the end of the season. So
yeah, you hope you can just restore that confidence, get that little mojo back, that swagger back. And so, onward for Oakland. And it's kind of like several of these other powerhouse schools we cover, like an Alcoa at 3A. You're really just playing to get ready for the playoffs.
Exactly,
If you're Oakland, you're a national powerhouse. Everything rides and dies on your postseason. And as the defending state champs, that's the goal every single year. And so they got a little better tonight as well. And hopefully Siegel can get things turned around as well, because we saw some promise from them, especially in that first half.
Yep. And appreciate the folks up here at Siegel being nice to us. It was a great evening. And we love a good high school football game. But, man, when that air gets crisp like it is right now, Wade,
baby,
talk to me sometime, man.
It feels great. Scott, thank you for all your hard work this week behind the scenes as making the magic happen back at Main Street headquarters was the great one, Justin Kulik. And for Scott Stewart, I'm Wade Neely saying so long. Again, it's a final tonight, 49-7. Oakland runs away from Siegel in the second half. We will see you next Thursday night as the broadcast moves to Williamson County. It'll be Franklin hosting Ravenwood. That'll be another big week of Thursday night Main Street Preps high school football action presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Wade Neely saying so long. We'll see you next time here on Main Street Media. Good night from Siegel High School.
You've been watching the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week. Nobody brings you more comprehensive coverage of high school sports in Middle Tennessee than Main Street Preps. The Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week was brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk.